Well, a very good evening and welcome to our Speed News this hour, our inaugural 4 p.m. bulletin on Hope TV. Thank you for joining us as we give you the latest news updates from across the country. My name is Tony Omondi. Let's get started. Now, the government has ordered for the immediate closure of schools effective Tuesday, 2nd of August, for a period of 1 week. In a statement, CS Magoha said the closure is to pave way for the 2022 general election set for 9th of this month. This is a departure from an earlier directive by the CS on Sunday, where he instructed heads of schools to close on August 6th to prepare for the polls. Magoha said schools will resume on Thursday, 11th August 2022, even as the break includes half-term break. In case of repeat election, Magoha said consultations will be held to determine the next course of action. Schools are usually used as tallying and polling stations during election. And with just 7 days to the general election, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, says the distribution of election strategic materials has kicked off. While giving a status update on the preparedness of election, IEBC Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera welcomed the move by the Education Ministry to close schools effective tomorrow. As schools are used as polling stations, schools are used as polling stations. Each station will have 2 police officers. The IEBC has announced that it will include sign language interpreters and braille users to help persons with disabilities in matters of voter education to ensure inclusivity during the electioneering period. About 1,272 polling centers, which are spread across the country, have been having poor network, and the Commission has set aside KIMS kits with 2 SIM cards that will be used in the areas. Just in case one SIM card fails to pick network in the regions, the alternative SIM card will be used.
Remember, I am one of the commissioners that went to Greece to ascertain the ballot papers printing. And indeed, together with our stakeholders, we ascertained and we came back with a good report. And at the airport, we gave the schedule that the first presidential ballot pallets arrived on the 27th. The next ones were to arrive on the 29th, and finally the third will go to get the last pallets. So the third, it is the last bunch of the presidential ballots that are going to arrive in the country, and then we distribute them to the constituency and finally to the polling stations. For the simulation, yes, we did our first simulation on the 9th of July, which we had like 80% success rate. Then we repeated it again on the 19th of July, and that one we had a 98% success rate. So what was another issue we were to do with the areas that don't have the 3G, which it is in the process, and it has been done. Let me tell you, every Thursday of a week, the political parties, IT experts have been visiting the warehouse where the production of KIMS kit has been going on, and all this has been shown to them and even ascertained what is contained in the KIMS kit. Remember, there's been fears of preloading the KIMS kit with something which is not there. And I want to inform you that every Thursday, the political parties, IT experts have been visiting the warehouse, and everything is as transparent as possible. So the process is ongoing. As we said, we are very transparent because we want Kenyans to have transparent and credible election.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto has increased popularity margin between his main challenger, the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate, Raila Odinga, in the latest poll carried out by the Intel Research Solutions IRS. According to the data released today by the IRS CEO, Karen Mwangi, The DP increased from 50.5% to 53.1%, while Raila dropped from 44.2% to 42.7% in the latest survey poll done through text messaging. IRS showed Ruto and his running mate Rigathi Gachagua had maintained their lead in the past 4 rankings, as opposed to the Raila-Martha Karua duo. Roots Party presidential candidate George Wajakoya came third with 1.2%, followed by Agano Party's Wahiga Mwaure, who garnered 0.2%. Mwangi said the percentage number of undecided voters in the country stood at 2.7%, according to the survey findings, a figure she said was likely to reduce ahead of next week's general election. According to the poll, Odinga is putting up a strong showing in Nyanza, Nairobi and Lower Eastern regions. His highest popularity is in Siaya with 89%, Homa Bay 88.4%, Kisumu 87.7% and Migori 81.5%. Dr. Ruto enjoys his highest popularity in Elgeyo Marakwet County at 91%, Kericho 89.4%, Nandi 89.4% and Bomet 87%.
July and 31st July, so which now we are projecting to you today. As you can see, if we start with the deputy president, when he did 20th of June, he was at 51.2. Then 4th of July, he dropped, where he acquired 49.9%. Then the one that we did 20th of July, he was at 50.5. So we can see an increase of around 2%, where he got 53.1%. So let's go to Honorable Raila Odinga. What we did 20th of June, he was at 42.5%. Then 4th of July, he maintained the same percentage, which was 42.5%. Then the 20th of July, 44.2. As you can see, there's a drop down of around, again, 2%. That is 42.7%. So let's go to undecided. When we did this 20th of June, it was at 3.8. It was very high. Then on 4th of July, it was 3.7%. Then what we did 20th of July, it's 2.3. But as you can see, the one that we did, there's an increase of undecided, which stands at 2.7%. Let's go to Wajakoya George. 20th of June, he acquired 1.9%. The one that we did 4th of July, he was at 2.8%. Then 20th of July, 1.9. Then there's a huge drop. He managed to get 1.2%. So let's go to Wahiga David. And he did 20th of June, he was at 0.7. The one that we did on 4th July, that was 1.1%. Then the one we did 20th July, he maintained 1.1. But it's also a huge, not very huge though. There's a drop down. We can see it's 0.2%.
Let's now move on. A joint security task force in Mombasa County has warned it will suspend parliamentary campaigns of the United Democratic Party candidate Muhammad Ali and his Orange Democratic Party candidate Said Abdullah if investigations establish they're behind Saturday's evening violent altercations between their supporters in Kongowea Nyali constituency. Supporters of the two rival political camps are said to have clashed during door-to-door campaigns. Several people were injured and taken to hospital. Mombasa County Commissioner John Otieno condemned the incident, as did the two candidates, who called on their supporters to uphold uttermost tolerance as the country readies itself to the ballot on August 9th.
Tumewaonya wahusika ili wahakikishe ya kwamba at any time wakati wanafanya campaigns hakuna violence hata kidogo. Na tumesema ya kwamba kama hawawezi kudhibiti supporters wao, then hatutakuwa na option bali IEBC itawasimamisha from conducting any campaigns in Nyali. Kwa hivyo tumewapea kama siku mbili hivi tuone kama kuna change yoyote.
Tumekuwa na mkutano mzuri na tumekubaliana kimisingi kwamba tutaendeleza kampeni ya amani huko chini mashinani. Kwa hiyo tumekubaliana na yale yote ambayo yameongelewa hapa, kimsingi tumeyachukua na tutafanyia kazi sisi kama wagombea viti, nikiwa nawakilisha chama cha Orange Democratic Movement.
Pia tumewataka asasi za usalama ziweze kuchukua hatua mara moja kwa wale ambao wote wanakuwa wakitumiwa vibaya kuharibu hizi mikutano. Na tumechukua kauli mbiu ya kusema ya kwamba tumeelewana sasa, kila mmoja wetu akiondoka hapa tuende tufanye kampeni ya amani ya bila vurugu.
Pressure is mounting on President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto to stop the bitter exchanges with just 7 days to the general election. Church leaders in the South Rift say such exchanges are a threat to unity, given the two are the highest-ranking leaders. The church leaders, led by Bishop Vincent Rono, said despite their divergent political views, the two leaders should respect one another. While launching the Nairobi Expressway on Sunday, the president castigated UDA camp led by Deputy President William Ruto, asking him to keep his name from the campaign trails.
With a lot of respect, my friend, Mr. President, please be a decent human being. Kuwa mungwana, kuwa na shukurani. Sisi ndio tulikusaidia. Wacha kujifanya saizi eti sijui unajifanya nini. Stop talking about me. Talk about your candidate. Tunaelewana? Mtu waambie wewe rais, tuambie huyu mtu wa kitendawili atawacha kungoa reli lini? Atawacha kujiapisha lini? Atawacha kuvuruga Kenya lini? Atawacha mambo ya violence lini? Na utuambie agenda ya huyo jamaa. Wachana na William Ruto. I supported you when you needed a man to support you. If you do not want to support me, leave me alone.
Kuna haja ya matusi jameni. Kila mtu, including myself, ako na uhuru wa kupigia debe yoyote ambaye anataka. Kwa hivyo unapigia huyu, mwingine anampigia huyu, mwingine anapigia huyu, uamuzi utakuwa wa wananchi. Kuna haja ya matusi, kuna haja ya kuingilia watu. Sasa wakati naenda kupatiana serikali na sina uwezo, ndio niko na time ya kukutafuta. Piga story yako, uza sera zako, wachana na mimi. Mimi nafanya kazi yangu, nimalize. Nyinyi muende muombe kura. Wananchi wakiwapatia sawa, wakiwanyima twende nyumbani pamoja. Shida iko wapi? Si dunia itaendelea. Yeah.
Let's look at what is happening internationally. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says he is outraged by the deaths that occurred on Sunday of two people when peacekeepers opened fire at a border post with Uganda in the troubled Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The UN force, MONUSCO, admitted that some of its peacekeepers had opened fire for unexplained reasons, adding that arrests had been made. In a video of the incident shared on social networks, men, at least one dressed as a police officer and another as a Congolese soldier, are seen advancing towards the convoy stopped on the other side of the closed fence in Kasindi in the territory of Beni on the border with Uganda. After a verbal exchange, the alleged peacekeepers are seen firing shots before opening the gate and crossing their post. The head of MONUSCO, Bintu Keita, said she was deeply shocked and dismayed by this serious incident, according to the mission's statement. In conjunction with MONUSCO, authorities have initiated an investigation to establish responsibility to find out the motives for such a crime and obtain severe sanctions against the peacekeepers behind this tragedy, he confirmed. And Senegal President Macky Sall's ruling coalition says it has won 30 of the country's 46 administrative departments, giving it a slim majority in parliament following Sunday's legislative election. Former Prime Minister Aminata Toure, who led the ruling coalition's list in the legislative election, announced the partial results on national television from the party's headquarters early on Monday after Sunday's vote. Under Senegal's hybrid electoral system, 97 candidates who win a majority of votes in administrative departments are elected, while 53 from national lists are elected using proportional representation and 15 are elected by Senegalese living outside the country. Okay, let's now talk about the maize flour shortage in the country. And days after the government and cereal millers signed a deal to lower the price of maize flour to 100 shillings from over 200 shillings for a 2-kilogram packet, the maize flour crisis seems far from over. Most of the retail stores do not have unga, and for those that have, the unga is still being retailed at the original price of over 200 shillings. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya has, however, issued a stern warning to millers whom he accuses of hoarding maize flour. Munya says the government has started trailing those who are hoarding the maize flour to be arrested and arraigned in court.
Hii unga wakati serikali alituambia amepunguza unga ni 100, tukaipata baada ya siku 2. Kwa sasa hivi hiyo unga ipatikani. Kama mimi jana nilienda kutafuta unga nikaambiwa unga hakuna, lakini unga ni 170. Unga imetoka kwa 100 imerudi kwa 170. Sasa tulikuwa tunaomba serikali atupunguzie bei ya unga, arudishe kwa ile 100 either 90. Hiyo ndio maombi yangu kwa serikali.
Unga ame unasikia imekuja mahali fulani, kama kuna supermarket ya Quickmart, unasikia imekuja tu na masaa fulani, imekuja tu some hours, unapata watu wamepanga laini. Wewe ukifikiwa hakuna, so si hatujaona unga, but tunasikia unga iko na hatujaiona sisi honestly.
Hiyo mimi natarajia serikali venye Mr. Munya alisema jana, CS Munya venye alisema jana ya kwamba wataanza kushughulikia mambo ya unga, washughulikie, manake hiyo ndio commodity ya kwanza kati ya hii nchi yetu.
All right, and with that, we've come to the end of this live broadcast at this hour. We have more coming your way in our subsequent bulletins. I'm Tony Omondi. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing.